Hello, senior citizen. If you are older and still masturbate, I really want you to stay with me and watch this video until the end. I know it might feel awkward to talk about, but as a doctor I can tell you it is not something to ignore or laugh off. Many people over 50 think it is just a private habit that has no real effect on their health, but the truth is your body and mind change as you age. What you could handle at 30 may not work the same way at 60 or 70. For example, some older men and women use masturbation to help them fall asleep or deal with stress, but they do not realize it can mess with their sleep patterns or lower their energy if it becomes a daily crutch. I have also seen people who quietly deal with numbness, soreness, or even trouble having normal sex because they never adjusted how they treat their bodies as they got older. You should not feel ashamed of it. You should just be smart about it. If you care about your heart, your prostate, your hormones, or your relationship, then this video will help you understand what is safe, what is risky, and what you can do differently to protect yourself. So please watch with an open mind. By the end, you will know things your younger self never even thought about, and you will know how to look after yourself better than before. Now let's dive deeper. Number one, it's not a man thing or a woman thing. Let's clear up one of the biggest myths out there. Masturbation is not just a man thing or something women should feel embarrassed about. Yet you would be surprised how many older women still carry quiet shame about it, while many older men pretend they have outgrown it or do not need it anymore. The truth is, both are lying to themselves in small ways, and that silence can do more harm than the act itself ever could. I've spoken with older women who whisper that they still touch themselves but feel dirty for it, as if they should have left that part of life behind with their 20s. Some even believe it makes them less proper, or that it means something is wrong with their marriage. Meanwhile, I see older men who joke that they never do it anymore, even though they do, because they think it makes them seem weak or unsatisfied at home. The truth is, it is normal for both men and women to want that private release, even as they age. In fact, for some people, it helps them sleep better, relax, or simply feel a bit more connected to their own bodies. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem comes when people bury it under layers of guilt, lies, and secrets. A 2015 study in Archives of Sexual Behavior found that many older adults who are open about their sexual needs, alone or with a partner, often report better mental health and closer relationships. Why? Because honesty lifts the weight of shame. It lets couples talk about what they want and need instead of guessing or sneaking around. So here is my advice as your doctor. Stop telling yourself it is only for men or something women should hide. If you are mature enough to do it, you are mature enough to talk about it too. Own it, talk about it if needed, and drop the guilt that does nothing but age you faster. Number two, your prostate health deserves a conversation. Let us talk honestly about something many people shy away from, your prostate. If you are an older man, your prostate health is not something to brush aside or assume will just take care of itself. I know this is not an easy topic to bring up, but as your doctor, I would be failing you if I did not make you think about it. Many studies actually show that regular ejaculation can help lower the risk of prostate cancer. A well-known study published in European Urology found that men who ejaculate more often, about 21 times a month, may have a lower chance of developing prostate cancer than those who do it less often. So yes, clearing the pipes does have some proven benefits. It helps flush out old fluids and keeps things from building up in ways that can lead to problems later. However, here is the part most men never think about. How you do it matters too. If you are older and your technique is too rough, too rushed, or too frequent, you might be causing swelling or tiny injuries to your prostate without realizing it. Over time, this can lead to prostatitis, which is painful inflammation that can cause discomfort when you sit, pee, or even have sex. Some men end up with chronic prostatitis that lingers for months or years just because they never learned to take it easy on themselves. So this is not about shame, it is about awareness. Think of your prostate as a small gland that does a big job. It needs good care, just like your heart or liver. If you are feeling pain in your lower back, burning when you urinate, or pressure between your testicles and anus, these could be signs your prostate is irritated. I want you to understand this and not sweep it under the rug. Talk to your doctor. Be honest with yourself. If you adjust how you handle this private part of your life, you may protect yourself from bigger issues down the line. So stay tuned to this video. because your prostate deserves that respect. Number 3, your brain still gets wired by what you do in secret. Let us get real about your brain for a moment. Whether you are 25 or 75, your brain is always paying attention to what you do behind closed doors. Yes, even those private moments you think do not matter much. The truth is, your brain has one job. It learns what to expect and what to crave. This means every time you watch porn or get lost in a fantasy, your brain is taking notes and wiring itself to want more of the same. A study published in JAMA Psychiatry in 2014 showed that frequent porn use can actually shrink the part of the brain linked to motivation and reward. This means the more you feed it with extreme images, the harder it gets for real life to keep up. Over time, normal touch or real sex with your partner might feel dull or even uninteresting because your brain is craving something more intense, more shocking, more new. I have met older patients who wonder why they feel disconnected from their partners. They ask me why they struggle to feel aroused by real touch but can spend hours watching videos online. The answer is simple. Their brain got trained by repetition. It does not care about age. It only cares about the pattern you keep feeding it. It is not about saying porn is evil. The danger is when it quietly replaces real connection. When your brain starts to crave endless scrolling instead of real closeness, you are stuck in a loop. And this loop can kill your desire for normal intimacy. So if you feel you cannot get excited unless you watch certain videos or replay certain fantasies, it is time to pause and ask yourself what you are really training your brain to do. Talk to your partner, talk to your doctor, reconnect with real moments. Because if you do not take charge now, your brain will keep wiring itself to want what does not exist in real life. And that can leave you lonelier than you ever meant to be. Number 4, your body isn't the same playground anymore. Let us get something clear right now. Your body is not the same playground it was when you were 18. And that is not something to feel bad about. It just means you have to treat it with the respect it deserves. When you were younger, you could get away with all kinds of habits. Rough handling, long sessions, barely any rest. Your hormones were firing on all cylinders and your blood flow bounced back fast. But as you get older, your body's engine changes whether you like it or not. For example, testosterone naturally drops as you age. According to the Mayo Clinic, after age 30, most men lose about 1% of their testosterone every year. That means your drive is not as strong and your tissues are not as quick to heal if you overdo it. Your circulation also slows down, which affects how quickly blood reaches the areas you need it most during intimacy. I see this all the time in my practice. Older men come in complaining about numbness, soreness, or even trouble getting or keeping an erection. When we dig deeper, many of them have one thing in common. They still treat their bodies like they are teenagers, using the same rough techniques they did decades ago. Over time, this constant stress can desensitize nerves and damage soft tissue. This does not mean you have to stop enjoying yourself. It just means you need to be smarter about it. Learn to slow down. Be gentler with yourself. Give your body time to recover, just like you would after exercise. Think of it this way. You would not run a marathon without warming up at 60. So do not treat your private moments like a sprint you can force anytime you want. If you respect how your body has changed, you will protect your health, your pleasure, and your confidence for years to come. Number 5, it's not a dirty secret unless you make it one. Let us be real. Touching yourself is not some dirty secret that should be buried in guilt and silence. It only becomes something dark when you hide it so deeply that it starts eating away at your self-respect and honesty. Mature people should be mature enough to talk about this part of life without feeling like they are confessing a crime. I see many older patients who carry shame for something that is completely normal. They hide it from their partner, they lie about it to their doctor, and they even pretend to themselves that it is no big deal. Yet deep down they feel embarrassed every time they do it. That shame does far more damage than the act itself ever could. Here is the thing. When you bottle something up, it festers. If you cannot talk to your partner about what you like or how often you do it, you build a wall between you. If you cannot tell your doctor that you are having issues, or that it hurts, or that you cannot finish like you used to, how can you get real help? If you feel too ashamed to even admit it to yourself, you risk slipping into secret habits that can spiral into loneliness or guilt. For example, some older men hide their porn use until it grows into an addiction that leaves them numb to real intimacy. Some older women feel so embarrassed about their needs that they never ask for what they want from their partner, and end up silently frustrated for years. Talking about it does not mean broadcasting it to everyone you meet. It means you choose honesty where it matters. A private chat with your spouse, an honest word with your doctor, or a few sessions with a good therapist can clear away years of shame. In the end, there is no shame in being human. The only shame is letting fear keep you from being real. Number 6. If you're hiding it, there's a bigger problem. Let us sit down and talk honestly about something most people never admit to anyone: hiding your private habits from the person you share your life with. If you are sneaking around to masturbate or watch things you know your partner would not be okay with, then you need to understand you are not just playing with your own body. You are slowly eroding trust in your relationship, even if no one talks about it out loud. As a doctor, I have seen so many older couples sit in my office holding years of unspoken secrets between them. One partner feels lonely but cannot explain why. The other feels guilty but keeps repeating the same hidden habit. Little by little, the bedroom grows colder. Studies have shown that secrecy around sexual habits can damage relationships more than the act itself. A paper in the Journal of Sex Research found that when people hide porn use or secret habits, their partners feel more betrayed than if they had just been open about it from the start. The real damage comes from the lie, not always the action. I know it can feel embarrassing to bring it up. You might think, it is my business, no one else needs to know. But if you share a bed and a life with someone, you owe them honesty. Secrecy builds walls that turn two people who once felt close into polite strangers under the same roof. I have met couples who finally talk about it after years of silence. Some find relief when they learn their partner does not judge them at all. Others realize they can work through it together and find new ways to connect. But the ones who keep secrets often end up alone, even if they stay married. So ask yourself, is a private habit worth losing trust over? If you feel ashamed or you are hiding it in the dark, that is your sign that you need to have a real conversation. The best medicine for secrecy is honesty, and sometimes it saves more than your health. It can save your home. Number 7. It might be quietly fueling depression. Let us shine a light on something many people never connect to their mood. That private habit you think is harmless stress relief could actually be the silent thief behind why you feel so flat and unmotivated these days. I know this might sound surprising, but stay with me for a moment. When you climax, your brain releases a rush of dopamine, that feel-good chemical that lifts your mood, sharpens your focus, and makes you feel alive. But here is the catch. If you do it too often, especially when you are older and your body does not bounce back like it used to, you can drain your dopamine faster than your brain can restore it. Some older adults tell themselves this is just how aging feels. Low energy, no spark, hard to get excited about anything. But sometimes it is not just age. It is a habit that keeps taking small hits at your motivation. A study in Frontiers in Psychology explains how overstimulation through constant porn or fantasy can desensitize your brain's reward system. When your brain is flooded too often, normal everyday pleasures like a good meal, a walk outside, or a hug from your partner start to feel dull in comparison. I have had patients come in feeling mildly depressed, blaming retirement, loneliness, or their body slowing down. But when we talk openly, they realize they have been chasing that quick dopamine fix every single day. It is like tricking your brain into a cycle that feels good for a moment but leaves you emptier afterward. This does not mean you have to stop completely. It means you should be mindful of how often you do it and why. If you notice you feel down or tired all the time, ask yourself if this might be part of it. Your energy and mood are precious at any age. Protect them so you can enjoy life without feeling secretly drained. Number 8, you might be using it as a sleep crutch. Let's talk about a habit that many older adults do not admit to anyone: using masturbation as a way to fall asleep every night. It might seem harmless at first. After all, it does help you relax and quiet your mind for a moment. But here is the problem that most people never see coming. When you always rely on it to sleep, you are teaching your body and brain that you cannot rest without it. Sleep is already tricky as we get older. Hormone shifts, aches and pains, or just an overactive mind can all steal our rest. So it is easy to reach for a quick fix that seems to work. But over time, this quick fix can quietly turn into a crutch. Instead of letting your body learn how to wind down naturally, with a warm bath, reading a book, deep breathing, you start to believe you need that release every night or you will be wide awake. I've seen older patients who swear they cannot drift off without it. The trouble is, if you wake up in the middle of the night or feel anxious, your brain only knows one way to cope. This keeps you stuck in a loop. A 2019 study in Nature Communications explains how the brain's reward system works with sleep. Too much artificial stimulation before bed can actually confuse your brain's natural sleep cycle, leaving you groggy instead of truly rested. There is nothing wrong with enjoying your body. But if you notice that it has become your only bedtime routine, that is worth paying attention to. A healthy sleep routine should not depend on one single habit to shut your mind off. So try this instead. Build other calming rituals into your nights. A cup of herbal tea, a gentle stretch, soft music, or simply talking with your partner can help you unwind naturally. Give your body a chance to remember how to rest on its own. You might find you sleep deeper, wake up clearer, and feel more in control of your nights again. Number 9, loneliness and lust are not the same thing. Let's be honest about something most people keep hidden. Many older adults are not always touching themselves because they are truly turned on. They do it because they feel lonely. It is a way to fill the silence, to distract the mind, to chase a few seconds of relief from feeling alone in a quiet house. But here is the problem. Loneliness and lust are not the same thing, and one cannot fix the other. I have had patients look me in the eye and whisper, "Doctor, I do not even know if I really want it anymore. I just do it because I'm bored or sad, or I do not want to feel so alone for a few minutes." That quick fix gives them a tiny escape, but when it is over, the room is still empty, and the heart feels even heavier. It is easy to reach for porn or fantasy instead of conversation. Screens do not judge you, they do not argue, they do not ask for effort. But every time you choose that over real human connection, you widen the gap between yourself and the world around you. It gets harder to pick up the phone and call someone. It feels more awkward to hug your partner or hold someone's hand. Over time, your private escape becomes your prison. Research from the Journal of Gerontology shows that loneliness is one of the strongest predictors of poor health in older adults. It affects your heart, your sleep, and even your immune system. And no amount of secret release can replace the warmth of another human being sitting next to you and listening to you breathe. So if you find yourself reaching for that habit out of loneliness, pause and ask, what am I really missing here? Call a friend, sit beside your partner and just talk. Go outside and see people. The real cure for loneliness is not a few seconds of relief, it is connection. Give yourself a chance to feel it again. Number 10, excessive solo time can kill your real intimacy. Let us talk about something that hardly anyone wants to admit. Sometimes doing it alone feels easier than trying to connect with another person. Especially as we get older, many people quietly slip into this habit. They start choosing solo time over real time with their partner. Why? Because it is quick, it is private, and it does not come with the work that real closeness needs. But here is the honest truth. Easy kills effort. When you get too comfortable doing things alone, your brain starts to believe you do not need someone else. At first, it might feel harmless. You tell yourself, it is just stress relief, or it helps me sleep. But little by little, real intimacy takes a back seat. I've seen couples married for 30 years who sleep side by side but feel miles apart because they stopped trying. One partner chooses the comfort of a solo habit instead of the sometimes messy work of talking about what they need. The other senses the distance but does not know how to bring it up. Over time, real touch starts to feel awkward. Sex feels forced or unnecessary. The emotional bond fades without anyone saying a word. Research published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior shows that people who rely too much on solo sex, especially when porn is involved, often report less satisfaction in their real sex lives. It makes sense. If your brain gets used to instant release with no effort, real-life touch can feel too slow or too unpredictable. This is not about blaming anyone for enjoying themselves, it is about balance. If you notice you would rather be alone than close to your partner, ask yourself why. Is it fear of rejection? Is it laziness? Is it boredom? Real intimacy is not always easy, but it is worth protecting. Do not let a quick habit steal something deeper and more lasting. Talk about it, work on it, and keep real touch alive. Number 11, your heart and blood pressure are involved. Let's talk about something people rarely connect to their bedroom habits: your heart and blood pressure. Many people think that what happens behind closed doors stays there and has nothing to do with their physical health. But the truth is, orgasm is not just a quiet moment. It is a mini workout for your body, especially your heart. When you climax, your heart rate shoots up, your blood pressure rises, and your blood vessels expand and contract quickly. For most healthy people, this is perfectly fine. But if you are older and living with high blood pressure, heart disease, or any circulation problems, that sudden rush can sometimes do more harm than good if you push yourself too hard. I have had patients who come in complaining about feeling dizzy or short of breath after private time. They think it is just age catching up with them, but often they do not realize that what they thought was harmless solo time can actually put sudden stress on their heart. A 2012 study in the American Journal of Cardiology found that sexual activity, especially when intense or unexpected, can temporarily raise the risk of heart issues in people with existing problems. Now, do not get me wrong. I am not saying you need to stop enjoying yourself, but you do need to be smart about it. If you know you have high blood pressure or a heart condition, remember that solo time can be like sprinting up a flight of stairs. Would you run full speed without checking your limits first? Probably not. Take it slow. Watch how your body responds. If you feel chest pain, lightheaded, or short of breath during or after, talk to your doctor. Intimacy, alone or with a partner, should never push you past your safe zone. Your heart has kept you alive for decades. Respect it. The goal is not to stop living, but to live wisely, even in your most private moments. In final words, if you are older and still masturbate, I truly want you to watch this video until the very end, because I care about your health more than your comfort. I know this topic makes many people look away or laugh it off, but behind closed doors it can affect far more than you realize. Your body is not the same as it was at 20. Your hormones shift. Your heart needs more care, and your mind can get stuck in habits that quietly chip away at your energy, your sleep, and even your relationships. For example, I have seen older patients who blame their tiredness or lack of desire on aging, when part of the real cause is how they handle their private life. Some cannot sleep without it anymore. Some feel numb to their partner's touch because a screen has replaced real connection. Some secretly carry shame that they have never spoken out loud, and it builds a wall between them and the people they love most. I want you to protect your heart, your mind, and your relationships as much as you protect your diet or your blood pressure. If you are honest with yourself, you can find a healthy balance that does not leave you drained or disconnected. You can learn to handle this part of life without guilt, secrets, or silent damage. So please do not skip this video. I promise it will give you information you probably have never heard in a doctor's office. It will help you stay sharp, connected, and healthy in ways that matter more than you think. Take a few minutes to listen. Your future self will thank you for it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in our next exploration.